doesn't really make sense to me why environmentalists are so against like tending the land, farming the
Yes.
land. It seems like that's something that's happened throughout all of human history. I mean, we see it. Obviously, we come from biblical background, so we see it
Yeah.
in the Bible.
Yes.
From the beginning of time until now, farming the land is a good thing. It's something that God wants us to do. He talks about it in the Bible, and
Yeah.
he talks about the gifts that He's given us for food and everything that we need. He's provided through the land. So I mean, I understand that there's tractors and machinery that I'm sure they think is bad for the environment, but at its core, you would think that farming would be something that environmentalists should be for, because you're treating the land well. You're doing what
Yes.
the land is meant to do.
Yeah, I mean, you want land to just be overgrown with weeds and stuff, and no one gets any benefit from it. What's the point of land then? But yeah, I mean, I think, Grant, you're getting into this larger idea that I've talked about a lot. The left likes to portray themselves as environmentalists when there's nothing true about it. Conservative, we conserve. And I think conservatives are conservationists. I mean, look at Teddy Roosevelt. He conserved so much public land that we still enjoy today. And you think about red states and blue states and things like pollution and how the state is taken care of. Look at every major city in America that's like ultra polluted and dirty. There's trash on the streets. The air quality is terrible. It's all run by Democrats. Where do Democrats want to live? They don't want to live in the rural areas where the environment's really good. No, they want to live in the middle of cities where the air quality sucks and you don't see anything green anytime. So the left, that they're not the ones that want to protect the environment. It's actually the right, and we're the ones that like believe in responsible logging so that there's not wildfires in states. Look at California. It burns down 365 days a year because Newsom's an idiot and he doesn't take care of the land.
Yeah, and then he goes out there and he lies about the things that he's done. That happened last year. He said
Yeah.
he's tended or whatever. He's treated this amount of land for wildfires.
Right.
Turns out it wasn't like not even close to that amount of acres that he said. It was way less. I don't have the numbers right off the top of my head, but he basically just lied about how much land he had treated for wildfires, and then they had a bunch of wildfires. So I mean, it's like
That's what happens.
These things happen. You can predict them happening.
Yeah, so a wildfire is better for the environment. All the smoke, that's better than, responsibly logging the land, giving people jobs because of it, and then giving like materials for building things, and then that forest doesn't burn down, and actually it's more usable because there's less trees, there's more space for people to recreate on. I mean, it blows my mind. Have you ever been to like North Dakota or Texas or something, a state where there's a lot of oil drilling? You can see in the oil wells.
Texas definitely.
Like the left thinks if you like, they paint this picture that like oil fields have like black oil running all through them and there's pollution in the sky. Really, you're just driving along the highway and you look and there's just a well out in the field and that's it. Like they're responsibly taking care of the land. So it drives me crazy when the left portrays themselves as environmentalism, and like everything that we've talked about in this episode, things the left wants to do, taking advantage of a crisis, it's all done in the name of climate change and environmentalism. It's all fake. They're all wrong. They're liars.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in the South, and there's farmers markets, fresh produce, all this kind of thing, and pretty much every person that I interacted with who farmed or who grew produce or whatever it was, pretty much every single one of them is a conservative. You don't really see a leftist farmer very often, and I think there's a reason for that. I mean, like you said, the left does not like blue-collar workers, farmers, people who are out in the fields. They don't like them, and so they try to present themselves as environmentalists. But to me, every person that I've ever met who truly cares for the land is a conservative. So I don't think that's a coincidence.
Yeah, and all the places in the country with like these great outdoors and people who live in the communities, like I grew up just outside of Glacier Park in Montana, which is one of the most visited national parks in the country, and the county is like 70% conservative. When you think they're just destroying the national park? No, it looks great. The environment's nice. So Yeah, and like you said, they hate the people who are working the land. The left, I think, I think they're really evil people. They are. They want to, I think, destroy the country from the inside out. I wish they would just go and live in their dystopian cities and stick to themselves and never see a piece of green grass again in their lives, and they can be miserable because nothing matters to them.